the first month we took around about £2,500 worth of bookings. So that was all the bookings that came in. We were around 70% occupancy for that one in the very first month. And profit on that in month one was just shy of £1,000. So it was about £930 of profit for that first month. Now, since then, our direct bookings have increased, and some of our costs have decreased on the property as well, as we've scaled and got better, got more experienced. So now that property makes an average of £1,200 of profit per month, and that's after all of the costs that are associated with running it. So your cleaners, a little bit of maintenance, any commission that you're paying to agencies that are taking the bookings for you as well. And the cost to get into the property, this is another reason I love rent to serviced accommodation, because the costs to get in are fairly low compared to actually buying an asset or buying a property. So for a rent to SA, the typical investment in is between £5,000 to £8,000. And that usually covers the furniture, so getting it furnished with beds and all of the sofas, everything like that. And then usually covering the first month's rent or any deposit that the landlord asks for as well.
Okay. And any sort of redecoration, did you need to kind of represent it, or was it kind of ready to go?
So this particular property was ready to go. We have rented some SA properties that needed decoration. But when you're doing a rent to, I usually negotiate that that's part of the landlord, part of their contribution is decorating the property. Because if they were tenanting it to a normal buy-to-let tenant, then they would need to do that work anyway. It would need to be at a lettable condition. So doing a rent to agreement, usually the landlord would pay to get it up to that particular standard. And then the furnishing and actually kitting it out would be down to us as the operator.
We're going to talk about, scaling that and then switching the focus a little bit. But where was this, and why does it have the kind of year-round attraction?
Yeah, so this property is in a city called Carlisle, which is very, very north, basically Scotland. Basically, it's up on the Scottish border. So it's fairly close to where I'm based. It is in an area. So Carlisle is a great city because it has a lot of different industry going on in one area. So just to pick out a few of our guest types that stay at that property, and a couple of others that we have in that city as well. There's a local infirmary. So it's the Carlisle Infirmary, which is the largest regional hospital in that area. So in Cumbria, in the Lake District. So we get a lot of workers that are on secondment or placement for a few months that need somewhere local to be able to stay. And this particular property, the first one that we've just been talking about, is only a 5 to 10 minute walk away from the hospital. So it's great, again, for workers that maybe don't have a vehicle but need to be able to get to and from the hospital for work every day. So we get quite a lot of placements from them staying in the SA. We're also close to one of the big Amazon warehouses, one of the big distribution centres. So another of our guest types are the drivers that do a lot of the Amazon deliveries, and this works particularly well in the lead up to Christmas. So November and December time, when we're all getting those Black Friday bargains and getting all of our shopping done for Christmas, those warehouses need extra drivers and extra staff to come in, and they often house them in serviced accommodation properties. So if you've got a location that's near some of these big distribution centres, that can be another guest type that books in what would usually be the off season, right? November and December is usually a quieter time for accommodation properties. So it's good to have that extra guest in that books those up as well. Just thinking some of the others, we've got a few different trade sites. So anytime there's big building work being done, like roadworks, or maybe a new university or a new hospital or a new skyrise is being built, then trade contractors will be working on that site, and they often like to stay in a serviced accommodation as well. So it's these types of guests that aren't always thought about when it comes to serviced accommodation. A lot of people just tend to think about, well, who's going to be going away to a city? Maybe a couple going on a city break, or, going for a concert or that sort of thing. And those guest types can work. They can fit little gaps in your calendar, or fill them, but they don't give you the long-term bookings. They don't give you the, someone in for 2 months at a time. So it's important to think about different types and how they're going to fill the calendar year round.
You don't need to be an expert. You just need the right guidance. YPN.plus.